Hi, it's Peter here. 10 annoying things that Olympus cameras have. Let's get right into the business. Peaking settings. You set the peaking on from special menu A and then the settings are on special menu D. Why not on earth having it at the same place? You turn it on from the same place where you set the features or the colors of the peaking. Why? Setting peaking to a function button disables histogram. Yeah, this is a bit annoying when you're using manual focus lenses and then you will set the peaking to a function button, which is of course a good feature. But then you turn it on, and then you focus and you will see the peaking. Everything's okay. But then when you press the shutter button halfway, you will see the histogram. Then you take the finger off, then the histogram is gone. So you have no way of seeing what is the right exposure when using the peaking function from a function button without pressing the shutter button halfway, and then when you do that, you don't see the peaking colors. So why not having them all together all the time there? I know it might be something to do with the way the viewfinder and the LCD works, but still, it is a really annoying thing. The default settings for JPEG is not the highest. Why on earth not having the default setting for JPEG compression to be the best, so that the image quality is the best? Why? The beep sound is on by default. I can understand that there is a beeping sound when the AF is complete or the image is sharp. Yeah, it makes sense. But why it has to be on by default? Because it is one of the most annoying things when you forget that it's on. When every time you make a focus goes beep beep. Why? Removing the custom functions from EM10 cameras. EM10 Mark II used to have a very good, or still has, a very good feature that where you can store my sets to mode dial. You can use any of the mode dial places for your custom settings, so that you can store your settings to be easily accessed for different shooting scenarios. And that's a really good feature. But why on earth remove that from future EM10 cameras that came after the Mark II? The Mark IV doesn't even have any custom functions or any way to store your settings in your camera. And that's really a bad move, because when you turn on some special features, it might disable something else, and I will get into that a bit later. So it would be really great to have your basic shooting settings in a custom function, so that you can come back to your settings easily and fast. And this is especially if you are new into cameras, where you play around with things and then you forget that something's on. It would be so great that if you could just store them in the C mode and then just, use it from there if you have something strange going on with your camera. And before we continue, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Olympus cameras. I've been using Olympus cameras for many years and even continued using those cameras after my visionary contract ended a year ago. So I really enjoy these cameras, but of course there are a lot of things that should be improved. And if you find anything that I say that is annoying and there is a great solution, please let me know and let us know in the comments down below. And tell us also if there are any things that annoys you. But let's continue with the next one. Using the same sensor for ages. Yes, Olympus has used the same sensor for many cameras, and yeah, I can understand why. Probably it's cheaper to make the cameras and get a better profit, and that's totally okay. Of course, that's why they're making cameras, to make profit. But the problem is that the image quality hasn't been improved for many years. Of course, there's been a bit improvement in noise handling because of better processor and stuff like that. But still, it's still the same old technology sensor, and that is something that really annoys me, because that is hurting Olympus, because that's the number one feature or number one thing that people say when they are talking about what do they want in the new Olympus or the OM system camera that is supposed to come in the near future. No official information yet, but that's what they have said that it is in the making. So we'll see. And yeah, the old sensor, get rid of that. HDMI output problems. If you have something plugged into your HDMI port, like a monitor, the touchscreen is disabled. So if you need to tweak the audio level, you have to do something else. You need either have a microphone with output scale or level, or you have to unplug the monitor and adjust the sound level from the touchscreen. This is really annoying. This is also a problem if you have a gimbal attached to the HDMI port. There are some things that are disabled. Why on earth? Because Olympus is quite good in video, so fix this. There is also another problem with the HDMI port. If you use that, you cannot use the USB charger port for charging the camera while recording. So you're limited to the amount of juice that you get from the battery. This also needs to be fixed. The AF difference between EM1X and EM1 Mark III. The EM1X is the flagship camera from OMDS or Olympus, but it doesn't have the same face and eye priority as the EM1 Mark III has. And the EM1X does not have the star AF, which I don't understand. The EM1X is intended for outdoor and wildlife and you know, outdoor lifestyle and stuff like that. You would think that it would be a good feature for that camera, the star AF. It's only in EM1 Mark III. And then EM1 Mark III does not have the subject recognition like EM1X has. Okay, that can be understood because it needs more processing power, or actually it needs 2 processors, so that's probably why EM1 Mark III does not have that. But still, I think the bigger problem is that EM1X doesn't have all the good features from the AF as EM1 Mark III has. This needs to be fixed because flagship model should have everything. The lack of microphone input in many cameras. Most Olympus cameras, the new ones, do not have a mic input, which I don't understand because vlogging and video shooting is the thing of today. So put that microphone input in every camera. Especially, I don't understand why pen cameras don't have it. When the Pen EPL9 was on the drawing board, there was a bunch of vloggers who had some input what that camera should be, and number 1 priority for them was the mic input, and still it's not there. It beats me. I don't understand that because that's the most important thing. After rant number 10, I will have an extra rant. No headphone jack in most cameras. Okay, headphone jack is not important when you're filming yourself like this, but when you're out there in the field photographing, or not photographing, but vlogging, monitoring the audio after you have shot the clip or before you shot the next clip, I always listen to the previous one, that everything is okay. Having a headphone jack helps that a lot to hear that the audio is okay. Without the headphone jack, it's not that easy because there is a speaker in the camera, but it's not very good. You can hear that the sound was recorded, but you have no idea about the level or the quality of the sound. So fix this. And then the extra rant. Special features block other features. The most asked question that I have is that why does not this feature work in my camera? It's grayed out. And usually the reason is that there is something else that is on that will block something else. I can understand that sometimes the features and the software just doesn't work. It is really annoying when you want to do something and something is grayed out because you forgot that you have something on. And this comes to the custom settings. If there was in every camera the possibility to save the custom settings or your own settings to a custom mode, that problem would be solved. You just turn that on and everything is back to normal and neutral so that you can use every feature. That's why the custom settings or the custom mode is really important in every camera. It should be there. Are there any things that I forgot? What annoys you in Olympus cameras? Please let us know in the comments down below. And here are some more videos about Olympus and what they should do. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.